It's a question on a lot of men's minds. Why are modern men so miserable? And what we're going to go through today is how you can fix it. Of course, we live in a different era, and it's so important that we think about why modern men have become so miserable, are now opening up about it, and we're going to break that down today. My name's Craig Madden, over there's Tom Cockle. We're Happy Man, Happy Home. We are two life coaches and counsellors for men's mental health. We do it for husbands and fathers, helping them with stress and empowering them to be that happy man, happy home. You can find our links for our Facebook if you are interested to see what we do outside of YouTube, down below in the video description or above in the bio.
Yes, 100%, Craig. It's become a massive passion of ours to help that family man live a better life and become a happier family home. So if you do enjoy that sort of style of content, then please feel free to leave the thumbs up button, hit the subscription and ring that notification bell. And if at any point you've got any questions or you have anything that you want to get off your chest, drop it in the comments or, as Craig said, check out our Facebook link. So thank you very much.
Now, first of all, we're going to break out the fact that, yes, you might be watching and going, well, there's bad men out there, Craig and Tom. There's men that walk away from their families and walk away from the kids. Well, we're not talking to that scum. We're talking to you, the hardworking dad, the hardworking husband that wants to be there for the family. But the problem is that we have noticed a rise, especially in modern society, a rise of depression, a rise in massive parts of anxiety, a feel of belonging has now displaced men, and we're wondering where the male role models have gone. Divided more than ever. And men are starting to try and figure out where their place is. You'll be glad to know that the world is healing since 2023 to 2025. There is a rise in men becoming happier, a rise in marriage again, but it did drop for a long time, and kids are growing up with those real male role models. And just to remember, this is why we're going to go through 4 really helpful tips today, just to remind you, even if it's something that you watch just to perk yourself back up because you're feeling a bit down today, we're going to go through 4 tips. But first, Tom's got to tell you something.
We wanted to make this video. This is why we wanted to put these tips together to really benefit the man so they can take action, take self-awareness and action about how to really improve themselves. So what we're going to do, as Craig says, we're going to go into those 4 tips now. Craig's going to take you away with the first one.
Yeah, number 1, guys, we understand it's all about reclaiming your routine. Now, I'm not going to feather around it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The Western economy right now is in a place of misplacement. And one of the things that suffer from that is your kids. So we need to reclaim your routines, that you're there, you're the dad that they'll remember. And how we can do this is we start saying no to work boundaries. We start saying, no, I'm not going to work past 5 o'clock for extra cheddar. I'm not going to be working extra time for certain things. We also got to learn to say no to our families sometimes. Many men out there struggle because they don't want to let their family down, because they think saying no is the be all and end all. Now, I'm not saying you need to wake up at 7 in the morning every single day. You need to go to bed at 9 o'clock every single day, although that has scientifically been proven that it does help your mind and your balance and your routine. But of course, that is not realistic to ask someone in today's society. So what I'm telling you is to have a routine, even if it is a little bit disjointed. And I know that already sounds quite controversial. If you are waking up at a certain time and you've got something to go and refresh yourself, go and move around, go and do something every single day, you spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, kids uninterrupted with your kids. Obviously, learning English is something I need to tick off my list. Also with the wife as well, having uninterrupted time. I don't know why I keep on going back to that word. But having those times, those boundaries where you're saying, no, this is my wife time, this is my kids time, that is so very important for the future of your kids, for the future of you. It helps you benefit from it as well, because you're feeling the stress being loaded off you.
Yeah, absolutely well said, Craig. Now, tip number 2 is about leading with patience and calmness. So, you want to take control of your family. You want to lead it, but you don't want to be barking orders. You don't want to be screaming and shouting to get your point across. You want to be calm. You want to handle situations. You want to be the one your children will come to when they've got problems, because they're not going to tell them what to do. You're going to try and guide them through life. You're going to help them. You're going to educate them. That is the whole purpose. Your wife will look at you not as an absolute control freak, but more as a man who is embracing her, empowering her as she does to you to sort of make the right decisions as well. You are there as that rock of support. And I cannot stress enough, the amount of people I've spoke to in the private calls that have been either very self-obsessed, they get very overwhelmed with minor things, but it's because they just all got this built up of stress that they can't quite handle the day-to-day normality of being in a household with their wife and children. So just getting that calmness about yourself, calmness amongst the family. You know, they all know that sort of like you are doing your part and you're doing your best, and that's sometimes just enough to show like this is a good man, this is a good dad. Like, you know, my dad is really trying, he's really putting the work in, he's listening to me, he's guiding me, he's that leader that I want him to be, and he's doing his damn best. So just putting in that effort to lead with patience and just try to lower the stress so you can be a more calmer, present dad within the family household.
And tip number 3, I really agree with that. I love it. But the third one as well is to remind yourself to drop the lone wolf act. What I mean by the lone wolf act is where you have to do things alone. You have to take every burden under the sun. Now, and what I believe in is that I think the man should take a lot of the burdens in the family. Surely that is our job, is to take a lot of the weight on, but you shouldn't have to do it alone. Now, Tom's going to go into another tip in a minute about more with the relationship with the wife, but I'm talking about in this case, you know, having a community around you, playing golf with your mates, going out and do something, playing Xbox with your mates if you're a bit more, you know, digital in that way, doing something where you can reconnect with other people like-minded, like you, because then you can share your stories, you can share your concerns, your stresses, you can even share your victories and your devastations as well. And that to you might just sound like, oh, well, was I just talk to a mate now and again? Yeah, just talk to a mate now and again. Have a pint. We're moving away from that because we're becoming more antisocial as a construct in Western society, because it's, again, going back to what I said at the original part, it's me instead of us. I can say it for a lot of dads out there. Sometimes you just feel 10 times better when you've had a laugh or a joke, even though it means nothing. You're not having a serious conversation. Let's face it, men, we love to have a joke around. We love to sort of bring our childhood back by having jokes that your wife looks at you and thinks you're insane. But I know for men, me and Tom do it quite a lot. We'll have we'll have a laugh about something, and we'll be laughing about something that's so stupid. But leaving that conversation, we will feel a sense of weight being lifted off our shoulders because we're moving ourselves away from the reality for just a moment, and then we're coming back to it stronger and ready to take care of our kids and wives when needed.
Yeah, beautifully said, Craig. Now, the fourth and final tip, as Craig sort of mentioned there, and the fourth and final tip, as Craig sort of said there about, you know, building up your social life, reconnecting, another person you want to desperately reconnect it with is your darling wife herself. So, you know, tell her that you've been going through a difficult time. Tell her that you're struggling. And you watched this video and you've watched up to this point. That means you are out there to try and better yourself. You are feeling that overwhelming pressure. Tell her that you are. Tell her that you're, you know, watching videos to try and sort of like go, you know, okay, I'm going to try and, you know, reclaim my routine. I'm going to try and lead with more patience. I'm going to try and connect with my friends, stop isolating myself. These are the action steps I'm going to do to make myself a better man, just not for you, but our children as well. You know, and tell your kids, use this stress that you've had and whatever bad experience has gone on in your life. Tell your children, say them like, you know, life has really been kicking me down lately, kids, and I'm sorry that I've not been the best of fathers, but you know what? This is life, and I'm overcoming it, and I'm over adapting it by doing this, because that's the stuff that they will look at and think, bloody hell, Dad, I didn't even know you were going through all that. I just thought you're just, you know, angry and stressed, but now I know why, and I see what you're doing. They learn from it, and they'll think highly of you for it, because we're all going to do it. We're all going to have those stresses, those, you know, those modern day problems that just absolutely kick us in the nuts, and how we deal with it and overcome it, it just makes a massive difference. So absolutely share with your wife, tell her, you know, because communication is the absolute like first step to like building it back up with your wife if you are going through difficult troubles together.
100%. This is very important for you dads out there, and you'll learn a lot more as you go through life. If you're a new dad and you're trying to work out what's in the world, am I doing this right? Am I doing it wrong? Am I too manly? Am I too toxic? Am I too masculine? Am I too effeminate? Sometimes it just comes back to the original thing. Don't overthink it and just be there for the kids, be there for the wife. You know your family, you know your wife, you know how your kids operate. Be there. And the main thing as we've gone through today, you'll notice it doesn't really matter about your job. It doesn't really matter about your background, your upbringing, all that sort of stuff. The thing is, you can have a routine. You can lead calm and patient. You can have mates and talk to them and just speak to them and have a laugh. And you can communicate with the wife. And in all honesty, this is the way we can move forward. We don't need to argue about what side you're on, what type of dad you are. Sometimes it is just going back to the basics, and that is be the dad work hard for your family, work hard for their future. For me personally, it is about my kids growing up in the future and being happy and walking into a life where they don't have to be so traumatized. But of course, you may have your own opinion, and that is absolutely fine. That is why this channel is open for discussion. So you can leave comments down below. We will react to them. We will read them. And of course, if you've got questions, you can reach out to us. Like I said, the link's down below or up above in our bio.
Yeah, 100%, Craig. Please do share your story. We certainly do appreciate it, and we'll happily help out anyone who sort of messages us either in the comments or in those Facebook links. So thank you very much. As I said at the beginning of the video, myself and Craig are like, it's become like our life journey, our life passion to try and rebuild those family homes, to rebuild the men, to make them happier and healthier, you know, so they can be stronger families. We just want stronger families back. We want there to be happiness and love in the world, and that is down to you to put those action steps. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, you do think there's anything beneficial and you might want to catch our videos in the future, then please feel free to leave that thumbs up button, hit the subscription and ring that notification bell as well for Happy Man, Happy Home. And thank you as well for giving us so much of your treasured time. We certainly do appreciate it, and we hope you enjoyed the show.